Hello, welcome to Scundered with me, Teresa Livingstone, the podcast about embarrassing stories. I'm joined today by a comedy legend. He is, get ready now, this is going to be a nice
A legend
intro.
thing is, I never feel old enough to be a legend, but thank you.
When you look at him. He's everywhere. He's on stage, he's on screen, he's on tour. You might know him as co-host of the Deck, Chair and Yums podcast or the Lazy Boys podcast. He's also responsible for one of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my entire life. Please welcome Micky Bartlett.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
That was a good night. That one though was.
Do you like that? Oh yeah, that was a good night.
That was great. That was a good
That was
night.
a very good night.
Yeah. Remember your beautiful husband texted me the next day just saying, my wife just said the words "fuck Micky Bartlett."
Yeah, I had quite.
Why did
It was
we go
whiskey.
out? Was that after a gig?
It was. It was after. It was the Brickworks in Derry, and for some reason, Fraser and I were staying in Derry that night rather than do the 1 hour 20-minute drive back home. I was like, better stay the night.
What? There was a night we got drunk at the back of your house too, though, wasn't there? Was that after
Oh
a
yes,
gig, or
was
did
that?
I just call around?
Oh, was that one? That was after your gig that Fraser was doing with you,
Yeah.
and then you came back, and that's right. That went on till about 5 o'clock
That
in
was
the morning.
ridiculous. Like,
That was
yeah,
awful.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one where I was like, fuck. Anyway, so there's been two.
Yeah.
Both of them were horrific. You're
Well, I've
welcome.
got such great skin. I'm only 16.
There's just something, you just have a knack of being like, oh no, just one more, just stay up. Even Fraser's like, I'm out of bed, I don't want to speak anymore. And you were like, you're not going anywhere. One more, come on.
I just like to be spontaneous.
You're bad for my health.
Yeah. I would carry it in the car if you want to go and get it.
We'll just do that now. I do actually now wish we'd brought alcohol. Because then we'd get to the...
You haven't done a drunk podcast before, have you?
No.
It's not a good idea.
It's actually, I've done a nearly... Did you do your live one? Was that the drunkest one you've ever done? Deck, Chair and Yums?
There's been a couple of ones I've done live that were pretty drunk. The last Deck, Chair and Yums live, was probably the drunkest I've been on stage ever, because it was the third or fourth time we'd done it.
Right. So
the
you were a bit
first-
relaxed as well.
Not even that was worse. The first time round, me and Connor got so drunk. So basically what happened was we were doing these live agony hour phone-ins. So people phone in with their problems, but the whole thing was we'd be either drunk or stoned.
Right.
So we thought...
And they were phoning in live?
They were phoning in
right,
live
okay.
and being like, so I don't know how to tell my boyfriend that I'm not really... And we were like, fucking kick him out.
I'll phone him now.
Yeah. So we got this thing in our head of like, I think they'd like to see us being drunk. So we did the first live podcast in the Black Box. Very, very drunk. Connor Keys almost threw up on stage.
Oh my God.
He had a bucket with him. He's going, "Ugh," and I started like just doing stand up to try and cover for it. And then he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to stop you from being sick.
Oh my God.
But then we got a standing ovation. So I was like, oh, this must be what you're supposed to do.
This is what they like.
Yeah.
This is what they want.
By the fourth one, Trace, I can tell you, we were in Mandela Hall and there was a bunch of people just like, I think he does have an issue. That doesn't even make sense. That's too much. Now,
Is it like the size of the venue, you have to get even more messed up? Like the bigger the hole?
It's more a case of I've gotten so good at drinking whiskey that I forget how strong it is.
Oh my God.
So, do you know like post-COVID when you got really good at drinking?
Yeah.
You go that, you get buy a drink in a pub and you go, it doesn't taste the same as home.
Yeah.
So I was pouring whiskey and gingers.
COVID measures.
And full-blown, like, I mean, they were killing COVID.
But I have never done stand-up. They were what?
They were killing COVID, like... So I probably had COVID and drank enough that COVID was like, he's a lush.
Just drink it out.
I'm away somewhere else.
But then that sets an expectation. Then, if they're coming to see you sober, do you think it would be a bit sort of?
I've had to finally admit that I'm far funnier sober. Now,
Yeah.
A lot of people still think I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just ride that. I'm like, I'll just pretend.
Yeah.
But
But I used to pretend I was drunk on stage. Just when I first started doing this act that I do, I'd come out and pretend, but I'd never do it drunk because I forget things so easily.
Yeah.
And that's my main thing. I would forget where I am, what I was doing. I'd probably climb off the stage and just sit and talk to somebody in the front row. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'd lose control completely.
I've done it a few times drunk. I've done it drunk where like I've been drinking like Edinburgh or something.
Yeah.
And I've been drinking because I thought it was finished. And someone was like, here, there's a spot going up like late in live. Do you want to jump on? And I go, absolutely. And then whatever else I've been taking kicks in.
Yeah.
When you're holding a microphone, you're like, oh, fuck.
No, that's why I can't be out that much out of control. Like I need to know. Because before I was doing any sort of comedy, I used to be like a bar singer, and I would have my really shitty little electric keyboard, and I'd play for 3 hours in the corner of a pub.
See, what's that like though, compared to doing stand up in terms of?
It's totally different.
No, but do you notice a difference in like if people are just chatting to each other?
Yeah. then that's fine. They're
It's fine.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd freak out if for 3 hours people sat and stared at me in the corner of a bar.
And the
But-
odd time it happens, like.
Oh, and when it does happen,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
bit like, "Are you looking at me? Stop looking at me." But I used to do that and drink. So I would
Right.
be, and people would buy you pints or whatever. But like, I wasn't particularly good. I'd be like, I'd have a bossa nova beat going and be singing like Boyzone hits. This would be in Donegal where they'd be like,
no matter what they tell
No, it was all
us.
like, I would get a wee bit tipsy, and then I'd start to get like, there was a song I used to do by Boyzone, Picture of You, and there's a part where like the music drops out and they go, aye, 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 and I'd be doing it like in a wee bar in Ramelton, Donegal, aye, aye, aye,
Class.
and they'd be like, sing the Fields of Athenry. But I used to drink as the night would go on, and by the end of it, I'd be like, whatever, right? Being carried out with everybody else. But on New Year's Eve one time, it got way out of hand because people were just buying drinks non-stop. And it was my job to do like the countdown at midnight. So I was like, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Everybody stand up in the chairs. And did this countdown like 10, 9, 8. And then the barman had to come up and it was like, it's 11:15. It's like, stop doing that. And then getting really confused, like, because the keyboard was starting to get blurry because I had all these like buttons for different drum beats. Like, it was really bad, like,
Yeah.
dunch, dunch. And I was singing With or Without You by U2, doing a wee like slow dance for them all. And I'd be like, with or without you. And then pressing the button that I thought would bring in the drum beat. But I pressed the sound effects button that was an approaching train. So it was just like, and me trying to turn it off, I was using the gunfire. I was like, pew, pew, DJ. And I was like, with or without you.
Bop it.
And yes, what was that one?
Bop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to bring that back. At least
just
part of
do
your
that.
comedy stuff now. Like,
But I
that's
was so
hilarious.
drunk. Like, people were just like, what is going on?
I remember doing, again, it was one of those late night nights. So I was finished for the evening in Edinburgh. And the girl who ran the show came up and was like, someone's dropped out. Can you jump on, do 15 minutes? I said, absolutely no problem. I felt sober. I felt completely sober. And then it's like, Micky Bartlett. And every drink I'd had
Suddenly
was like,
appeared.
boom. And I'm like, fucking hell. And I remember trying to bail out of, like, I had a club set that wasn't working. So I thought, right, I'll use something from the current show that's working really well, right? And I had a bit about, do you know, whenever men sleep around, they're called legends, and when women sleep around, they're called slut, and how it's not fair. It's a real
Yeah.
big sort of exploration into sexism and all this sort of stuff, right? But I forgot a lot of it. So I just went, sluts! Right? And as I'm trying to get through it, Kai Humphries, another comedian, is standing at the doorway. So there's that wee doorway at the side of the stage at Late and Live in Edinburgh. So he's like at the doorway, and I see him going, and then it's just like all these comedians. Like,
Oh, come and
and
have
they
a
were
look.
like, what the fuck? And I was mortified. And then the next day I went flyering for my own show. And the guy went, "No, you're right, man. I saw you Late and Live last night. You're not for me." And I
Oh,
was like,
no.
"No, I'm really funny, I promise."
Oh, no. Oh, God, that's so destroying.
Yeah. That's
Flying's
Edinburgh.
bad enough.
I know. It's
So, but no, when is Deck Chair and Yums doing their next live podcast then? When
probably
can we?
not for a while because we've actually moved to just Patreon.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, because it was kind of, we're just not giving it away for free anymore.
Yeah.
We're just too tight. So, because the last live one we did, I think there's too much on. There's too many live podcasts going, and I'd prefer to be doing stand up.
Yeah.
So,
And do you think people start to get confused about what stand up is?
100%.
Because they're going to see live podcasts all the
100%.
time, and then
I think between that and like, you get a lot of people who love podcasts, don't like stand up. So they'll go to
Yeah.
see stand up and be annoyed. And you're like, this is better
Yeah.
than us talking shite.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've fucking thought about this and stuff. You know what I mean? There's cool
This
shit in
is art.
Yeah. I've practiced these voices.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and then even just the way people watch stand up now, anyway, because of TikTok, it's such.
Yeah.
You can see people sort of.
You got to get me in the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm swiping on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she said. But yeah, I think live podcasts definitely have changed, and I as much as I like doing them, I like doing other people's podcasts. I like coming on as a guest
Yeah.
and being a stand up on a live podcast as opposed to
Yes.
being like, got a question in here from Dervla. You'd rather have fingers for willies or willies for fingers?
I'm going to take that off my list. I had that later. Oh, Lordy. No, I've done, there's a podcast called Drunk Women Solving Crime.
No.
Have you heard of this? It's brilliant.
That
right?
sounds class.
Yeah, and they actually do. So it used to be 3 of them. It's 2 of them now. Look, check it out. It is very good. It's got a massive big following.
Yeah.
And they came to Belfast this year and last year, and I was their guest on one of them. And they called me up beforehand. They were like, "No, we actually do drink." So the whole idea is they discuss like a true crime story from like ages and ages ago, and they get drunk while they
doing it.
discuss it.
Class.
And then they ask each other questions about it. And I think it started sort of during COVID and they were just all doing it around like a kitchen
Yeah.
table. And now it's massive. So I was like, oh yeah, happy days. I'm up for that. So we had drink before we went on stage. We drank on stage. And by the end of it was a live podcast in the Black Box. And they brought somebody up to give, like she had a wee story to tell.
Yeah.
And I sort of just got carried away with the whole aspect of being drunk and I was like, shut up, no, shut the fuck up. Like, and I was just like shouting at this poor woman who was like, I just wanted to participate. So I do feel like I can't be drunk in a sort of comedy environment.
Yeah.
Because it just gets a wee bit too, I like to be in control.
At the comedian's Christmas party just passed in
Mhm.
December there. So again, Lavery's was on that night. And I was like, right, I'd said to Colin Geddes, don't book a lineup. Just get whoever's out and fancies doing it to do it and tell the audience that's what's happening. Because when Lavery's kind of in the early days, there was a lot of times like the whole crowd would come out and you'd be singing Christmas carols in the smoking area, Lavery's, and like, I was like, let's just have fun, man. Let's stop being professional.
It's so boring.
Yeah. So the night of Christmas Do turns up, and again, I'm going on first, but I'm thinking all the comedians are going to be like, yeah, Mick, let's go, follow him. Fucking no one else got up. So I was shit-faced, and then I made Kieran Bartlett sing Fairy Tale New York.
Yeah, of course.
Because to me, it's not Christmas unless Kieran Bartlett sings Fairy Tale New York in Lavery's. And I'm like, let's get up and sing with them, guys. And I'm like, come on. And they're like, yeah, Mick. And then I turn around, there's no one there. So at one point, there's a video again of me just like snogging Connor Kane. I fucking love you, Mick. Yes, scumbag, damn maggot. Yeah, being drunk and in any kind of professional context, it is risky. Like,
it is risky.
Do you know what I mean?
I was like, because I used to be a teacher, and I wouldn't have gone to work drunk, but I've been to work hungover. No, I would never have gone, but hungover enough too. I might as well have been.
Aye.
And my God,
teachers do some amount of drinking too, though.
Oh yeah. Oh
like,
yeah,
that's
you have to. It's the only way
yeah.
to survive, because you do. It's intense. Teaching, I think, is a bit like stand up, and people who do slag off teachers and be like, "Oh, you get all these holidays." If you think about how much effort you have to put into doing like 20 minutes on stage,
yeah, and you're doing
and
that
the
for 6 hours,
and
like,
and you're doing
Absolutely.
it all day,
Yeah.
every day, pretending to like all the kids in front of you. You clearly don't.
Yeah.
And they're heckling as well as anybody else. Some of the heckles have been brilliant over. I do wish I'd written some of them down because they're very good, especially West Belfast. They knew how to do it. But yeah, no, it's a drink heavy.
Yeah, just
job.
right too, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing wrong with a bit of overindulgence. Like,
I agree. No, I have quit drinking. I have to tell you, I quit.
I've quit loads of times, Trace. It's easy.
This is the longest I've gone without drinking, and I'm trying not to be one of those like evangelical sort of.
See, to be fair,
we should all do. But fuck, I feel brilliant.
See, the last 2 years I've done dry January.
Yeah.
So the first, I was in Australia on tour, and I went, right, I'm going to get in really good shape because I'm in Australia and it's summertime, and I can't be running about here with my daddies, right? So I think in the first month I lost about 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And I was like doing loads of exercise and all that. And then I went to Adelaide Fringe Festival. And on the flight over, the guy who ran the gig that I was doing texted me the lineup. And I saw a guy called Mick Ferry from Manchester. And I was like, well, there's no fucking point fighting this. And I started drinking on the plane.
Oh, Mick, who did Lavery's.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I didn't stop drinking for 3 months.
Oh,
because it was,
my God.
festival
Yeah,
tours.
yeah.
And then this year was like dry January. And I got to the end of January and I went, I don't think I'm ever going to drink again. I was like, I'm feeling great.
It.
And then I had a gig on the 1st of February that didn't go great. And I went home and just sank a bottle of whiskey. And I've never been happier.
So you're going over to Australia again?
Yep, going over for a wee mini tour.
You're doing very well over there, Micky
I mean,
Bartlett.
I think there's a lot of Irish people over there that just kind of want to go and see. Do you know what I mean?
Somebody
That reminds me of home, so it does.
Sit and cry in the front
I know.
row. Oh.
It's the lilt that I miss.
It reminds me of my... Just like my mommy.
It's like Darby O'Gill.
No, but it mustn't just be the Irish. Like, there must be
It's
a bleed over of like.
Yeah, there's definitely sort of.
crowds.
I get a lot of Aussies coming in now because I've been going back and forward there for about. It's been near 10 years.
Yeah.
So you do start to kind of slowly but surely build a wee bit of an audience to come over and see your
Yeah.
stuff. But at the same time, the Irish people that do come see you are so loud. When you're behind the curtain, like, I wonder who's coming. And you hear, fuck up, you dick, you spilled my pen. You're like, it's just all my cousins, just all our ones.
Yeah. No, that's because it's not just Australia you're out in all the time. You're constantly posting you on an EasyJet flight somewhere. So you are you're properly on the circuit.
I'm married to the road, Teresa.
More so, more so than most of us here
I'm
who say we are.
Just a vagabond. I actually know what that means.
But yeah, you do a lot, and it's
I haven't done as much now, to be honest, since I came back from Australia last year. I've only been over to England maybe 2 or 3 times.
Oh, have you?
Just because this is boring comedy chat, but the comedy clubs at the minute don't really pay enough for you to pay for flights and then pay accommodation, all that sort of stuff. So you end up kind of.
So they don't pay for your flights.
No, that's all like your own stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
And a lot of them don't. Like the stand are great because they'll pay for hotels or they'll put you up somewhere so you can make some money. But a lot of them, you're like, you know, you're spending whatever wage you get that weekend
to get there and
to live there and stuff. But I do miss it. I always loved the, like, every weekend you'd be hanging out with 3 different people or 4 different people from every different aspect of the human race.
Yeah.
And for a weekend you were getting pissed.
Yeah.
So you end up with, like, you come home all like, I've got a different point of view on that, you know? If you'd like to hear it. No? Oh, okay. I would like a bag, please, yes. But yeah, that was, like, I did that for years.
Yeah.
Maybe sort of 7, 8 years. And I miss it, but it hits a point too, I haven't admit I'm getting older. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I'm 38 now. I'm 40 in 18 months.
Stop.
In 18, I'm 40 though, Teresa. Do you know what I mean? Like 40's like, come here, you. Come here. And I'm all, no. I've got a Karate Kid tattoo. Like,
I had more of an existential crisis when I turned 30 than when I turned 40.
I was fine with 35, freaked me out.
Oh, did it?
30 was dead on. 35, I was like,
oh, that's halfway to 70.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, you can't say early 30s anymore.
Yeah.
So you're mid to late. And then I went like 35, 36, 37. I was like, it's still mid 30s.
Yes.
And now I'm like,
well, that's where I am in my 40s now. I'm still.
What are you, 44? 43? 42? 40, you're 39.
Love you. I just turned 46.
But you look fantastic.
I know, thank you. But yeah, no, so now I don't care anymore. I'm quite excited about still being alive. I'm at that stage in my 40s. I'm like, ooh, I'm still here.
But it's one of those things, so, you know, as you get older, it's not that life becomes less exciting, you've just done everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I used to be like, oh, I'm going to Edinburgh for the weekend. And I'm like, fucking Edinburgh again. Passion down.
No, see, when I turned 30, I quit. I had been a teacher for 10 years and I quit, left my job, moved. I had been living abroad, moved back home, went back to uni, did like a whole like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And then found comedy.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I'm doing. Part-time.
Sure.
Occasionally, every fortnight.
It's the same as all of us. I'm full-time and I haven't worked in years.
When did you go full-time?
Depends who's asking.
No,
I think
roughly.
Technically, I stopped doing other jobs in 2010.
Right.
So I was working in the civil service.
Okay.
And then there was a few things. I got a couple of wee bits of like local TV stuff, and I was like, Mummy,
I've made it.
What kind of Ferrari do you want?
Was this around the time of Show Me the or Find Me the Funny?
Yeah, so Find Me the Funny was 2009.
Right.
So yeah, so 2011 then say it was when I went full time. So I was working in a call centre when that happened. I've been doing stand up for about 18 months. And I was like, probably the best one in the world.
For anyone who doesn't know, now I didn't see it at the time because I was out of the country.
Let me vape.
I wasn't living. I wasn't. I was not living in the country with this. But I remember about 5 years after it had been on, it was all on YouTube, and I remember watching it back. This is when I had just started comedy here, so there was a lot of people who are now still doing comedy, sort of broke through.
Yeah.
It's like a search for a reality show almost, wasn't it?
Well, that was the thing, yeah. So it was the way it was sort of put out to us was that it was a documentary series.
Oh, right, okay.
So there was posters went up around the PAV, and there used to be a gig in McHugh's, and they kind of put these wee posters up. And that was the idea. So we all auditioned.
So it wasn't put out as like a competition, like a
that was
right.
What was interesting was like one of the great things about Northern Ireland being so small is that one of my university lecturers was best mates with Raymond Lowe, who was a producer in BBC Northern Ireland at the time. So we auditioned. Funny story, me, Shane Todd, and Sean Haggerty all stayed in Sean's house in Donegal. His parents were wee cottage in Donegal. So the night before, we all stayed there for a couple of drinks. Me and Sean were auditioning in Derry. Shane was auditioning in Belfast the next day. And somebody went, what are we going to do if, like, imagine two of us didn't get in and one of us, or two of us got in and one of us didn't.
Yeah.
And I jokingly went, yeah, Shane, you're going to be fucking raging. And then me and Sean got in and Shane didn't. And where is he now? Right? Fucking global superstar. And I'm like, no. But, so that's why I got through the audition and then bumped into my old lecturer and this producer. And I was like, what's the crack with this show? And he goes, Mickey, they're going to make you jump through hoops. They're going to make you vote each other off. They're going to make you stab each other in the back. So I went into it kind of like, I'm not going to fall for any of this. Like, I'm just going to go and do stand-up. And then there was one of the episodes where they had us in, they teamed us up basically. And the idea was you would go and do a gig at Smithfield Market and you would get kicked out together. So no matter how well you did, if your partner died in the rush, you're both kicked out. And they put me with the weakest sort of member of the group. And I bet like nom. I was like, this is a fucking joke.
On camera or off camera?
Like completely on camera.
Oh, they would have been loving
Yeah, I know.
Look at the 1925
but then what it did... yeah, Shane. Yeah. The boy's got a screw loose. He's shell-shocked, Shane. But the one good thing about it was then at one stage they made us secretly vote each other off.
Oh my God.
Right? So it was like write down 3 names on a piece of paper that you're going to, that you think should be kicked out of the show. And I wrote my own name down 3 times.
Oh,
because I was like, I'm just going to ruin this because I don't want to end up like having to snipe at each other. Over fucking 7 minutes in Edinburgh. That was the prize, by the way. You got through 7 minutes in Edinburgh. And we got paid £1.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, that we didn't receive.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm saying it was shite. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Because they would also give us a per diem. So we would film at the weekends and they would give us 80 quid.
Yeah.
And that was for food and all that sort of stuff. And we would immediately finish these classes.
Yeah.
Go straight to the off license. And then we were staying in Queen's halls. So we just got pished the whole weekend.
And then did you all go to Edinburgh together?
Yeah. So there was me, Aaron Butler, who else? Des O'Gorman, Gemma Hutton, Sean Haggerty, and who was the other one? That's awful. I can't remember who. There were 6 of us went to Edinburgh. And again, it was like, you went in and did 7 minutes.
Yeah. And then that was it.
And that was
but you had that credit then, I suppose, going forward. You'd be like, I'll sign on.
Teresa, I remember, like, so I was working in a call centre at the time, right? And it was weird because when they started doing the kind of reality TV thing, they were being very sort of sneaky about it.
Yeah.
And one of the good things about it was very early on in stand-up, I was able to see how heartless the industry is, if you know what I mean. So everybody on it had like a story. So, Sean had a load of kids and Gemma Hutton had just come out and there was all these different sort of things. And then there was just me who was like, well, I just tell jokes and then play PlayStation and then I go call centre and then I do it all over again. Sometimes do PBs, sometimes poo-poos. So, but the phone was on my break in the call centre and one of the producers' phone was like, Mickey, we're having a bit of a hard time sort of getting a backstory for you, you know, for the show. She's like, is there anything you could, talk about, anything bad ever happened that you could sort of talk? And I went, there was one, to be honest, I haven't really brought it up, but there was one thing. And I swear to God, she went, hang on, let me get a pen.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? So, and I went, so my dad every day, like he would work so much, like he would just he was 12 hours working in a factory and he'd come home, he'd be hungry. And I know it wasn't necessarily his fault, but there was just one day before he left for work, he didn't give me a kiss and tell me I was a good boy. And she was like, you're a fucking wank. And I was like, oh, what do you want?
No, but it's true because that was 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So like nowadays, if you were going on Love Island or whatever, or Maths, you're a big fan.
Love it.
You know what you're in for. You kind of know you need to have not so much a backstory anymore, but like, you're a part of a TV show, not sort of, because I've talked about it before in another episode, but I auditioned for The Voice of Ireland and I got to the spinny chair bit. And thank God it never made it to TV because it was humiliating. Nobody.
Seriously?
Nobody turned
Bastards.
And
so who was in The Voice in Ireland?
Cian Egan from Westlife.
Aye.
Jamelia.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And Sharon Core, not the main core.
Actually, not the main one. Should have got Jim. I'd had more respect.
But the same thing was happening. But I was wise. I knew that it was a TV program, so I was desperately trying. I was like, my granny just died. And they were like, you're 33. And I was like, I'm still very sad.
Yeah, still pretty. Yeah, it's still fucking rough. Like.
And she was a singer, and they were like, we're not interested. Do you have some sort of disease? But they were clearly looking for like stories.
But the thing is, that hasn't gone away.
Who happened to be able to sing.
But that hasn't gone away from like the industry as a whole. So the last time I did the Edinburgh Festival, my former agent called me and was like, I've had this idea. what if we talk about your psoriasis
I was
in the
like,
promo
oh my God.
for your show to try and sort of get some sort
Yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah.
you know, pulling the heart. And I'm like, you want me to have a fucking audience full of scabby bastards? Go. Like,
I really like him.
Everybody in there picking their feet on the fucking...
I know, but I can imagine it's any angle, anything to
Yeah.
get you in there.
Which
to,
is
to
just such a
stand out.
fucking shitty way to do it.
Yeah,
Because
it is.
at the end of the day, like, the way I look at it is, especially in terms of stand-up, I haven't gone to see Billy Connolly because of his fucking sad
Inability
story.
to read.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm like,
yeah,
no, I want to
yeah,
go see him tell jokes. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So it always feels a wee bit sort of desperate
Contrived,
and
yeah.
and you're lying to people really because,
Yeah.
well, no, a lot of people obviously will have sort of traumatic events and go on stage and talk about it, and make it funny, and it's great, it's brilliant. all that
Yes.
sort of stuff. If I did it, I'd feel like I was lying
Yeah.
because I'm like, man, you just get over stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I mean,
we
it'll
went-
hit me when I'm 50 odd. My prostate will fall out. But
You'll have a great show.
yeah,
We went to see, when I was in Edinburgh last year, I didn't get to see as much stuff as I wanted to, but I'm not going to say who it is because I do really like this comedian. But there was a lot of crying in the
Mhm.
show at certain points and sort of, you know, break. And I just sort of thought, this is maybe the 23rd time you've done this show. Have you cried at and I would bet money on those tears haven't happened at the same
Yeah.
point every time. And you're just a bit like, I don't doubt that it's sad, but now it feels really weird
Yeah.
to be sort of
well, I know of a few comedians that I know, and again, think they're brilliant and they're great. I've gigged with them and all sorts of stuff, but
Yeah.
they've gone to Edinburgh and done a themed show about
Yeah.
death or something tragic.
yeah.
And then the producers at Live at the Apollo go, "You're fucking brilliant. Do Live at the Apollo." And I'm like, they can't do that on Live at the Apollo, you know?
I know.
Do you know, like,
I know.
because and there's so this is whenever I start getting angry about just people in the industry. They go, "You're not fucking funny. Let us do it."
Yeah.
Next question.
Right, embarrassing stories. So, you don't strike me as somebody who gets embarrassed. Like I'm sure you do mental stuff all the time, and you seem to be drunk enough all the time, Micky, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
the good thing is I don't
So-
remember any of the
I
embarrassing
was
things
going to
I've done.
say, so maybe you just don't
Yeah,
remember. But
a lot of my life is going, did I? No, I didn't.
next Edinburgh show, what?
Yeah.
So, what do you have any like real ones that stick out, like even from like school or like student or dating?
Tons,
or-
like, because mine are, because I've been so, it doesn't like, I'm just going to make a whole trauma dump now, even though I've just gone, that's not funny. But I've had so many embarrassing medical conditions since I was a kid.
Oh right.
So like embarrassing bodies, I've legit had 3 things that have been on that. I'm 4 that haven't.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? So, so there's like the one that I still think about, and I was only 12 when this happened. Right?
Oh,
So
is
we
this
were.
gonna make me sad?
It's not going to make you sad. You're going to
Okay.
piss yourself laughing.
All
right?
right, okay.
So I was in school, and you know, you boys know what it's like when you're 12. You're all fucking, yeah, fuck are you, right? And a fella in my class kicked me in the nuts,
Uh-huh.
right? And as I went down, I punched him twice in the nuts. So we're both
Yeah.
laying on the ground, like turning green, like Jesus Christ, that was stupid. But the next day, one of my testicles was like the size of a fucking watermelon,
Oh
right?
my God.
And the other one was swollen. so,
Yes.
so I had to like go. No, you're like 11, 12 years old and be like, Mom,
Oh.
and I went, Mom, I'm swollen down there, and she went, that's supposed to happen, son. Don't worry.
Your body's
And I-
going through a lot of
and
changes.
I was like, no, damn, Mum, right. So I ended up had to go to hospital, and they were like, okay, pee into this. It wasn't even a tube. It was like a cardboard box that I think they give ladies, right? So you're supposed to hang it on the
Oh yeah, on the
seat,
toilet bowl.
right?
Yeah.
But it was Craigavon Hospital, so the seat wasn't there and it wasn't wide enough to go across the bowl, right? So I'm 12 years of age, no willy control at all, trying to pee into this box. Pee into this box. And I skited pee everywhere,
Everywhere?
right? And then had to
Oh.
walk up with a sloshing cardboard box of piss.
Of your face.
Covered in it, right? Fucking covered. So I'm like, here's my pee sample, or what's left of it. Right? And then they had the woman had to come in and sort of feel around my
Yeah.
genitals to see what was going on.
And then the nurse came in.
And then the nurse came in. All right.
Yes.
I was like, here, Father Murphy, that lipstick isn't fooling anybody.
Yes, carry
So,
on.
and this is, and I swear to God, this happened. So she was older than me because I was 12, but she was a young doctor,
Yeah.
quite attractive doctor. And I don't know if you know much about when young men are going through puberty, but it'll stand up at anything.
Yeah.
So she's like and she's like, is this discharge? I'm like, no, I paid myself. And then as she's like doing this, my willy was like, right? And I swear to God, fucking God bless the NHS, this nurse, I swear to Jesus, just went on. And it was straight back down. I was like,
Oh
thinking
my
back on it, I'm going, that's
God.
probably the most impressive thing ever.
Like a
but
proper punch.
yeah, but I wake up in the middle of the night even now, nearly 30 years later, like, fuck.
That poor woman. How many times must that have happened for her to have the reflex to be like?
She didn't even go, oh. She was just like, like it must happen all the time.
Like she was fighting a cobra.
Yeah.
I know.
It was
Choking it
yeah,
out.
it was like somebody was talking during the cinema. So that was the first one.
Oh my god.
And then there was the time that I had the thing of my bum crack. That was pretty embarrassing. That was about 5 years of embarrassment. So I had an ingrown hair in my butt crack
Oh
that I
no.
had to get an operation on.
Oh no.
So yeah, so I spent like
I'm even just picturing the position of you in the theater
yeah,
when you're
and,
unconscious.
as in surgery, not like to be or not to be.
RC hair. Do you have surgery?
Yeah, I had about 6 surgeries on it. Cause so what happens is, yeah. So basically, what happens is, right, it's an ingrown hair that gets infected, and they have to cut it out in a V shape, and then let it heal from the inside out.
Okay.
Right. So every morning for about 5 years, I would have to go to a doctor's surgery while a nurse would like redress this just
Oh.
hole in my back.
Oh my
that was
God.
pretty gross. So there was a lot of instances during that where I was like, that's a pretty embarrassing thing to happen. Like,
I'm gonna be a stand-up someday.
yeah. Like remember one day they were they're taking like I got stitches the first time
Yeah.
because the doctor was like, you have to take 6 weeks off school. And my mum, being the Free Presbyterian Catholic that she is, was like, he can't take 6 weeks off. He's doing GCSEs. He cannot have 6 weeks off school. So they were like, well, we'll give him half an operation, see if that works, right? I know,
God.
because my mom was mad about me getting 100% attendance in school,
Right, okay.
regardless of what was going on. So yeah, I had to get stitches ripped out because it healed over at one point. Cried during that. One time,
God.
one time a doctor was like, are you sure there's no more? And then he put his finger up my bum and I was like, I'm not ready for that. There's a bunch of that. Then the psoriasis was pretty rough. That was kind of an embarrassing time.
Yeah.
Walking around like, hello ladies. Like,
were these things all happening at the same time?
not all at the same time. So it was kind of the balls thing was I was 12.
Yeah.
The bum thing I was 14 or 15.
Oh, it's a bad time.
That went on until I was about 19.
Oh.
Then I had a couple of years where I was like, oh, things are pretty good. And then when I was about 26, I started getting, I got abscesses in both armpits, right?
Right.
So this is a pretty embarrassing one as well. I went to, like, I had thought I was really, really ill. So I had these two, like, both armpits had an abscess, but when I cupped my hand, it was like that, the
Yeah.
size of an egg, and got a really, really bad fever. So I went to the Alton Hospital in Derry, and I was like, I'm really, really sick. And they gave me antibiotics and nothing really worked. And this doctor went, right, these are pretty fucking serious. You need surgery. He says, now what we can do is we can book you in where we'll get an anesthetist, we'll put you to sleep
Yeah.
and take care of it. Or we can do it today. He goes,
Alright.
it's right on the verge of like, we could probably still get away with doing it today.
But without anesthetic.
Right. And then he goes, no, there'll be no anesthetic. And then he said, but you're a pretty big unit. You can probably take it.
Oh
And
my
and
God.
my ego was like, I probably fucking can't.
Oh no.
So they took me to the children's ward in the hospital, right? Because that was all there was left, right? So I swear to God, I'm in Little Mermaid on the wall. Right? Like, doop 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 doop. And I had to like sit with my arm up like that. And this doctor, now you put like injected
Yeah.
numbing stuff into it. Doesn't numb it, just numbs the skin.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking goes for it. Now I had
my
to hold my
God.
hand up the whole entire, so my brain's going, hit him,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking hit him.
Like the nurse.
Right? And he's just there, like digging away at the store. And I remember looking at the bed after, it was like covered in blood, like a World War II bed. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I heard a voice from the next cubicle in the children's ward say, Mummy, what's wrong with that lady? Right? So I don't know what noises I was making. But it was clearly fucking
Scream.
hysterical. Yeah, there's been a bunch of them. That's all the weird physical. And I've got ditties too. That was always pretty bad.
What? I was kind of thinking embarrassing as along the lines of, oh yeah, that's happened to all of us, and we can laugh about
No, yeah,
it.
mine
but
were always like,
yours
no,
are
swear to fuck
properly
that happened.
traumatic.
Yeah, almost dropped a coffin once. I was pretty bad.
Oh, tell us that.
It's not even that funny. I just nearly dropped a coffin.
Oh no.
It wasn't.
Well, clearly it was someone you knew well enough to be carrying
Yeah,
the coffin.
well, it was one of those kind of, because my wee auntie who passed away there about 4 years ago, and yeah, I had the bad psoriasis in my hands, and I'm having to
shit.
carry the coffin with like moisturizer all over my hands.
Yes.
So it just keeps slipping. And I was like, and I went, hang on a second, fellas, and everybody stopped, and then I forgot it was a coffin. Oh my God, I forgot it was a coffin. And I went,
Shutting it
so
up
my
on your
wee
shoulder.
auntie went like, to close the lid like that, and she's probably fucking. They'll find her skeleton in a couple hundred years. What the fuck happened there?
Oh no. But I mean, funerals are, the more you're in an environment where you're not supposed to find things funny,
The
if
funnier it
something like
gets.
that happens at a funeral, then it's like being like in a school assembly again.
But-
You're just kind of like,
we were in the house. This is going to sound like a dark story, but trust me, it is funny, right?
Mhm.
So my auntie had no kids,
Mhm.
so when she was dying, she came home. We all kind of took turns looking
Yeah.
after her and stuff. And for anyone who's been through it, you know it's sad and it's
Yeah.
fucking heartbreaking. And we're all sitting there, and she's kind of taking the last, the big laboured breaths and stuff like that. And every so often, she would breathe out, and we would go,
oh, that's it.
and she'd breathe in again. We'd be like, oh, okay, fine, that's fine. And this went on for ages. And at one point, my other aunt, her sister, was going, right now, away you on up to heaven now. Go see mummy. You'll be okay. Away you go. We'll be all right without you now. Go you up to heaven. And then she breathed out, and my auntie went. And we were like, and she breathed in again, and my aunt went, would you go on? Fuck you. and then she died. And we were all just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God. Oh, that's brilliant.
Our family funerals are fucking funny. Like, I remember I was only a kid. I was about 9. And whoever had done it was one of my aunts as well. Whoever had done her makeup
Yeah.
hadn't done her mascara properly, right?
Right.
So I thought they haven't closed her eye properly. It looked like she was like, one of her eyes was kind of open,
Okay.
right? And I'm standing beside my wee sister. She was about 7, and I'm just like, right, be a big brother. Don't point out that you think something's wrong. Don't let your imagination go, I think she's still alive. Don't do any of that sort of stuff. And as I'm doing that, my sister just went, her fucking eyes open.
Oh,
And we were
no.
just standing howling. Like, howling, laughing.
I got the giggles once in a funeral. Now, I didn't know the person who the funeral was for,
Mhm.
but I had been asked to come and play the organ and like bring a school. When I was a teacher, I had to bring the school choir, and it must have been like a member of staff's parent or something like that. So it was very sad. But I'm not an organ performer. I'm not an organ player. I play the piano, and people don't always understand there's a big difference in that. On an organ, you've got pedals as well.
Right.
Right. So I was like, I don't know how to use these pedals. So I sat at the organ. This is down in front of the congregation with my legs spread out. Like I had one leg there and one leg there. Right. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but I looked suggestive, right? So I'm sitting there, my legs wide out to here, right? Panicking
I
anyway.
hear she left you a bit of money. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
But I was sitting there, and I had the choir beside me as well, and we were singing, and a spider just landed on top of the organ and started like coming dangerously towards my hand. But I started like flipping like this, right? And it wouldn't go away. And once I started flipping it, the kids started to laugh as well, and I was like, shh. So we were singing like whatever it was. I watch the sunrise, and every now and then you just hear when my foot would go down on one of the pedals, or I'd be twitching, or just so that. And then once I got the giggles, they got the giggles. It was horrific. It was really horrific because it wasn't like it's always sad when somebody dies, but you know when if it's an older member of the family,
and
you'll
also
be
the
sort of
stress of all of it. There's always going to be something that'll set someone off.
Yes.
Like it's.
But this wasn't like a much older. Like this was awful and very tragic, and I was just up like having some sort of sexy fit at the foot of that.
I remember, like, see, even getting embarrassed on stage as well is one of those things where you go, "Oh fuck, mate!" Like, so that's just reminded me of when I was about again 10 or primary school, like P7, so 10, 11. Our school had a choir, and I was obviously like Mr. Showbiz, even at 10. I haven't a fucking note in my head, by the way, right? So they had us for some reasons. I think we were saying like the bare necessities or something, right? But I was at the front, sitting side saddle, right? Now look at the size of me now. I was like this when I was 10, right? So we get through fucking bare necessities, and I'm like, I'm fucking smashing this. And then I stood up, and because I'm so heavy, my left or right foot had completely fallen asleep.
No.
So I stood up and just stood on my ankle, right? Just rolled my ankle.
Straight on
And
your own
everybody's
ankle.
clapping, and we have to walk off, like just split and walk off, and I'm holding on to somebody's back. But he's, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I can't fucking walk. And the whole crowd's just laughing at me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. The one time I've tried to come out of my wee shell. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've had that with it's not a kid standing on his own leg, but whenever you have the kids lined up in a choir, there's definitely the ones who can't sing that you have to position. So there's ones who they love a day out, right?
Aye.
And that's great. You're all welcome. So this would have been you. So there's one kid in this choir, didn't have a note in his head, but was full of like would belt it out. And I had them all set up for like a school performance once with microphones. And I had said to the guy with doing the tech, put one microphone at that side, one at that side. Don't get them anywhere near
Aye.
Kevin. I'll just call him Kevin, right? Don't get them anywhere near Kevin. So they had them all lined up perfectly. We practiced the song, fine. Then we came out on the night to do it in the school show, and clearly, like, somebody just fired the microphones in front, and Kevin like grabbed his and was like, "Here we go," right? So it was too late for me to like move him back, and I have a recording of it somewhere. We were singing "Happy Day," "Oh Happy
Yeah.
Day," and it's just like the choir all like, "Oh Happy Day," and then this one voice, "Oh Happy Day," and then the rest of us, "Oh Happy Day, oh Happy Day." And I was like, we're going to have to get through the whole song like this. So again, it's me. Like, I'm meant to be the adult, and I was just like, this is absolutely hilarious. That would have been you in my choir.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I was crap at all that sort of stuff in school.
Oh,
Which is insane, because look at me now. Doing all singing, all dancing.
I know. But this is why I think, you see all this at first, I think if I spoke to any comedian, their childhood is just nothing but humiliation.
Oh my God, 100%.
And the amount of things you overcome, you're like, well, at least if I can make myself laugh about it, or if somebody else laughs about it, it'll be fine.
Oh, 100%. There's tons of those. Like,
I didn't have a lot of medical-y type stuff. I think just I was a wee bit of a loser who thought she was going to be famous at some point and was taking every opportunity to get up on stage and sing. And the first time I tried to sing in front of anybody was in front of like the whole school at this like talent show. And I got stage fright where my throat just closed up. You know, when you're really nervous, your throat closes up and it's sort of like, and I was singing, I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables, and it sounded like a goat. I sang the whole thing like, I dreamed a dream, times come by. And then once the laughter started, it got worse. And then I started to get more and more panicked. And by the end, I was like, we would live the years together. And somebody came on stage and stopped it. Like a priest arrived on stage and was like, that's enough.
a few of those, like, because I went to uni and did drama.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I wanted to be a comedian. I didn't realize you could go to a pub and go, can I come on next week? I thought like,
I'll get the certificate.
I'll be classically trained.
Serious drama.
Do you not know that about?
I didn't know that.
I got a 2-1. Didn't open a book.
I should have known when you said you used to work in a call centre. Like, drama student.
There was me and a guy I lived with at uni. He worked in the same call centre at one point.
Yeah.
And there was a day where he came down to my desk and was like, "Man, I have to go home." He's like, "I've just had a fucking breakdown. I've just started crying in the toilet." And I was like, "Why is that, man? It's just call centre work. Like, don't fucking." But I'll see you later. And then about 2 weeks later, I was in the toilet like, and I hear like,
oh, stop.
and I was like, Shane? He's like, Mick? I was like, fuck yes. And we just got in the car and went home.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, just fucking left. Went and played Call of Duty all day and smoked weed. It was a good time. But there was loads I had a thing where they made us audition for a thing. So the course that I did was crap. Right.
Where did you do it?
McGee.
Right.
So what they told us, and the lead up to it, they go, it's way more practical in Queens. So you're essentially doing a drama course. It's more of an acting course.
Right.
Then on the first day, they go, if you want to be a performer, you're in the wrong course. This is mostly theory. And I was like, good way to get money, right? Because I was 17 when I signed that form, and I have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
So I think in the second year, we had a woman called Andrea Montgomery, who's a fucking class playwright and class director. But she was doing these workshop things, and one of the aspects was you had to sing for this audition, right? And I was like, I can't sing.
Yeah.
And the lecturer was going, well, you have to sing for the audition. And I went, but I can't.
Yeah.
And he went, well, what if you go for an audition at some point in your career where they require singing? And I went, well, I wouldn't, because I can't. I also can't fly a fucking plane. Hence, I'm here and not. Right? So I ended up having to, and I didn't know I had a tick. Because I think singing is one of the most
Yeah.
Like, I think a part of your soul comes out when you sing.
Yeah.
And
you're very vulnerable when you sing.
Very, very vulnerable. Yeah. So I had this, and I can't remember I don't even know what it was I was singing. I had practiced some song. I think it was like fucking James Morrison or some shit, whatever it was, right? But then she was like, no, it has to be like a nursery rhyme. I want you to sing a nursery rhyme. So I couldn't think of any. She was like, Baba, just do Baba Black Sheep. And so I'm doing Baba Black Sheep and tugging my ear. I fucking hate this. I hate this. Like,
oh my God.
That was such a... amount of embarrassment.
That is awful, because then that not only are you never ever going to sing again, like that solidified how much you're going to hate singing.
Yeah, absolutely. Even karaoke, I have to be shit faced for that, and it's embarrassing. But it was a very weird course, because I managed to graduate with a 2-1 without reading a book.
Okay.
Like I mean, I
not
didn't.
Even a play.
I read 3 of Martin McDonough's plays just because I liked them. But the rest of it, I'm on record as writing an essay and referring to a very famous playwright as Winston Shakespeare.
2-1 for you.
Swear to God. I swear to fuck. And I think the reason, I was told this by the lecturer who knew the producer. Part of the reason why I got a 2-1 is because I'd started doing stand-up in the 3rd year.
Right.
And he went, he might be famous, might be good Albert for the uni.
Oh my God.
So I have a degree that means
Jesus.
literally fuck all. Like,
But did you want to act? Was that what you wanted to do?
weirdly, I think I kind of, I wanted to do stand-up. I didn't know I wanted to do stand-up.
Yeah.
So the one thing that did happen on that first day when they said if you want to be an actor or whatever, you're in the wrong course, they also mentioned stand-up as like a legitimate career.
Did they?
Yeah, so they just said,
Wow.
he just said it now. Now, even just hearing the words stand-up comedian,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
person in charge said it's a job, fucking right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually trying to get back into a wee bit of acting. I've got a wee acting agent and stuff at the minute.
Oh, very good.
Just because I'm sick of writing jokes. But
Yeah, get someone else to write for you.
yeah, exactly.
Of course, I've seen your work as the harp angel.
So I wasn't even the angel, I was just one of the scientists.
As the harp man.
Yeah. That was pretty embarrassing. That was pretty, yeah. Speaking of, that was fucking embarrassing. That was an embarrassing 2 days. One of the most ridiculous things. And so, for anyone who doesn't remember the classic harp band I was in, the whole sort of point behind it was they were trying to figure out how do you make the perfect pint of harp.
Yeah.
And it was taking elements of Northern Ireland. So it was like shavings off Harland and Wolf and fucking do all this shit.
Yeah.
Now, it was done
Yeah.
comedically, but it was also an element where you're like, fucking hell, just get to the point. And I had to go into the sea in a white wetsuit with a deep sea diving helmet on and take out a test tube about this size for the salt water. That was the water. That was the element of the Northern Irish element of whatever.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was say walk from here to that curtain in a straight line, and it took fucking 4 hours.
Well, I would imagine doing anything in a wetsuit.
I couldn't see anything. But then imagine me in a well, I look like sperm. And there's people stopping and looking. Oh, is that Barry the Blender's mate? And
Oh my
that was
God.
rough. And that weekend, because I ended up getting the cold from the sea, because it was November time, so it was fucking freezing. And I went down and did a gig in Dublin, and I hadn't. One of those days as a comedian, you don't speak to anybody. Sometimes it can be between holding microphones is when you're talking to people.
Yeah.
So I didn't know I'd lost my voice
Yeah.
until I got to the gig, and so I was like, "Well, Mick," and I was like, "How you
Oh
going?"
my God.
And I'm like, "I can't pull out now because I'm at the venue."
Yeah.
And do you know if you've a sore throat, you've only got like a range of like, I can talk this loud and that's
Yeah.
it. Anything else disappear, right? And I was trying to get through a bit, and it was something about. I used to have this joke about every town I would go to. I would say, "You've got some of the best looking people I've ever seen." And they would go, "Woo!" And I'd go, "But you're ugly people fucking mean it." Right? And I would go like, "You've got some of the best looking people I've ever seen." And somebody goes, "Yes," like one woman. And because whatever it was she shouted, it was a proper heckle. And I went, "Not you, you fat cunt." Because I just didn't
In
have
that voice as well.
because I didn't have, I knew I couldn't talk any louder to
Yeah.
like be funny.
Yeah.
And I had no other thoughts apart from just let me get through this 15 minutes, please. So all I could was, "Not you, fat cunt." Anyway, Dad's a bit of a weird character. Who's drinking it? Do you ever be on a plane that weird enough? Yeah.
And have you been asked to do any sort of like other reality type things? Do you get approached to do that sort of thing?
I feel like I was asked to go and do X Factor at one point, like audition
you?
for it. Yeah, but audition. So
X Factor.
yeah, but or not X Factor. Sorry, Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
I was going to
sorry.
say.
Sorry to the.
Was your drama teacher like, get him to do Baba Black Sheep? It's fucking amazing.
It's fucking unbelievable. Never seen anything like it.
Pull his ear and all. It's gorgeous.
Pull the head and stuff. But yeah, there was a point.
Oh yeah, Britain's Got Talent.
There was a point though where Britain's Got Talent were reaching out to any comedian.
Yes.
And
if you had a clip on YouTube, I think you would
Yeah,
have got. I don't mean to downplay it.
Oh, no,
like,
100%.
But they asked me as well.
Yeah, because I know a few people. I know an act or a double act who got asked to go and do it, and they said no. So Britain's Got Talent just stole their act.
No way.
And had one of their guys come on and do the same thing. So they would do like a misheard lyrics thing.
Oh, yes.
Raymond and Mr. Timkins. One of the funniest acts I've ever seen. And you'll see on Britain's Got Talent every couple of years, someone comes
Right.
out and it's their act.
Jesus.
Because they said no to it. So
Oh yeah, I've heard some real horror stories about just being involved in that. And that whole, I'm such a control freak, just when it's totally out of your hands about like how you're going to be.
yeah.
You don't know if you're the joke or not, whenever you're auditioning. I got asked, I think I did, it might have been spam, to go on Celebs Go Dating. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Not as a celeb. I think I would have been like the joke.
You're in the background like
Just serving them.
just shouting, "Well, Kane, such a fucking big man, are you? Hope she turns her fucking chair around, you bastard."
But I was like, oh, you obviously mean as like someone who's going to go on a date with some other poor bastard, and I'd be all like, woo! But I considered saying yes just for the
Just to piss him
exposure.
off.
Yeah, just say to Fraser, why not?
Aye, you didn't do the dishes, that's why. Yeah, I haven't been asked to do much TV. No, that's another thing. I've been embarrassed a lot doing TV warm up.
Oh,
Like that's
right.
a thing that really, really fucking tests your metal in terms of like,
Okay. Because not always warm up for something funny. It's for any
yeah,
show
for-
just
it
to
can be
get
for
the
anything.
audience. Yeah.
So like I did warm up for the Nolan show once,
Oh, God.
and there was a guy in the front. Nothing was working because I don't know if you know much about the Nolan show, but no one's really there for the crack.
No.
Um,
Notoriously, people with a sense of humor go.
yeah. So it's just all these angry people smelling the bonfires. And I was clutching at straws, and I was doing old, like pulling material out from fucking years ago, like just going through the Rolodex. What about that? Try that. And there was a guy in the front row in a pinstripe suit with like a flower in his buttonhole.
Yeah.
With slick back hair. And as I said the words, I recognized him.
Right.
But what happened was I went, "Oh, look at you, bit of a gangster, aren't you?" And he went, and the floor manager was going, "Mickey,
Yeah.
wrap it up." On Top Gear, that was one of the most
Top Gear?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that was so I did the series of Top Gear after Jeremy Clarkson and all those guys had left.
Right.
So it was Matt LeBlanc,
Oh?
yeah, Chris Evans, and the other ones.
And was it
And
still being filmed in like a big hangar?
yeah,
Like,
and it was a fucking disaster from start to finish with me
Yes.
on it. So there was a point where the first episode had gone out. So what they'd done stupidly was all the crew apparently had left to go to the Amazon thing as well.
Mhm.
So it was a brand new crew for
Oh,
Top
right,
Gear.
okay.
And they had it at the big hangar, but they were trying to shoot it the way they would show it on TV.
Yeah.
So they'd go, right, we'll do a like set piece here, then we'll play a video, and then we'll
Oh,
do
like
another
in
set
the
piece.
order they
In
would
the order,
shot?
yeah.
Okay.
But the TVs they had were about the size of that monitor. Okay,
Mhm.
so you've got about 700 people who
All
want
trying
to
to-
watch a video, who all move around the one TV, and then the floor manager would go, "We need to get them back to where they were standing
Oh, my
for
God.
continuity. So can you just tell jokes while I'm moving people around?
Yeah.
And if you want me to tell jokes to people that are fucking listening to you, that makes no
Oh,
sense."
my God.
And I was like, even for health and safety, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
Because if somebody trips and I'm interfering with what you're saying,
Yeah.
we're all fucked. So that was grand. Got through it. It was a nightmare. Needed the money. I would have pulled out if I didn't need the money.
Yeah.
And then the first episode went out and it got like panned.
Right.
And on my way to the studio, a producer phoned me and went, "What do you think you could do better?"
What you
to
can do
help the
better?
show, right? And I went, "I'm the only fucker not in the credits." I'm out of everybody on that. What's a grip, right? Because he's in the
Jesus.
credits. Nobody knows I'm doing it. So turned up on the second or third day, whatever it was, and again something goes wrong, and all of a sudden the floor manager's like, "Jump in there, Mickey, and tell some jokes."
Mhm.
But I'm telling jokes with Matt LeBlanc that close to me, like
Oh,
where
my
you are, right?
God.
And it's fucking Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
And with warm up, you don't know how long you're going to be there for.
Oh, God.
So there's no point in me like starting us like, "Go on, fuck you," or
Yeah.
trying to start a story, and they're all behind me and everywhere and whatever.
Oh, my
And
God.
I ended up getting the audience to sing the Friends theme tune at Matt LeBlanc.
I'm sure he loved it.
He didn't. He fucking didn't. And, like I shook his hand and I went, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's okay."
Yeah.
Like he was really sound about it.
God, I'm
But
having
it was like
secondhand stress just thinking about it. Even
It's-
just people moving behind you as you're trying to
I
do it.
swear
That's a
to God,
nightmare.
it's the worst fucking
Yeah.
if anyone ever says, "Do you want to do warm up for the show?" Just go, "Nah."
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
horrible.
I only did it once I've never done TV warm up except for the Blame Game did like a 10-year anniversary
Mhm.
thing. This was ages ago in the waterfront, and I got to do warm up for that, and that was the best gig I've ever done in my life. Because that was like a very nice, primed audience. They were there to see comedy.
Yeah.
It was a proper
You're
stage.
in it.
I came out.
Absolutely.
I did like a wee 10 minutes of boop-a-doop-a-doo. Kevin Bridges was on and everything. It was great.
Aye. See, things like that are fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I've done that a few times for like Paddy Kildee had a show they filmed in the Waterfront Studios and stuff, and you go, "This is fine."
Yeah.
But the times whenever, like, I did it from the last episode of Miranda, like the last ever
Oh.
episode of a fucking BAFTA award-winning show, and
All crying and all.
yeah, but a producer phoned me, he's like, "So have you seen the show?" And I thought it's this is going to sound dead professional if I go, "I haven't time to watch TV. I'm always out doing stand-up."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Well, we don't want you if you haven't seen it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? What do you want me to do?" Like, and
We want you to cry for 10 minutes
yeah,
before.
and I remember that was one of those situations where, again, it always feels like it's your fault, but
Yeah.
the audience are happy enough to watch cameras get moved around and think
Yes.
they're all like,
It's
"Oh,
exciting."
this is class."
Yeah.
And then, so I'm getting wheeled out every 20 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And there, at one point, this guy just rolled his eyes. Like, and I'm like, "How do you think I feel?" Cruise.
We've got the spirits intervening here.
Is that what happened there?
It just fell down in the middle of your.
That's my auntie up there. Go on,
Stop
fuck.
talking about
You
me.
telling that story again, are you, fat boy?
I love it. Right, we're going to finish. I'm going to ask you a few. Would you rather have fingers for willies
class.
or whatever?
I
What was it you said? Right, okay. These are would you rathers. So, would you rather clog the toilet on a first date or the first day at a new job?
Oh, first day at a new job.
Really?
Absolutely.
But even though you're going to have to work with those people for the...
Well,
I suppose they would know it was you.
yeah, but if I've clogged the toilet in the first date, that means we're back at hers or back at mine. So the first date's going well to that point.
Yes.
That'll ruin that experience.
That's true.
Do you know what
I
I mean?
get you.
I'd rather lose a promotion than a ride.
Put that in his gravestone.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Would you rather shit yourself on a bus home or vomit all over a person on the train? Somebody else.
Vomit. Shitting myself in public or in private is probably one of my greatest fears.
Is it?
Like,
After everything you've been through.
everything I've been through, you see those stories of people, like it's happened a couple of times, and I've seen it in the news over the last few years, where someone has done a poo so bad they've had to land the plane.
What?
Yeah. So there's people who've either clogged the toilet or the
right.
toilet's broken, or there was one case where a guy just did a really, really nasty shite.
Oh my
And they were like, we had to land this
God.
fucking plane because
People are dying up
yeah,
here.
and that's my fucking biggest fear.
Did you see that documentary about the cruise?
I did, yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
poop cruise.
Which is such a, it's such an American thing to make that sound like fucking 9/11. Do you know what I mean? Did the old guy was like, I felt like I let my daughter down. You're like, shut up, man, it wasn't your fault the fucking thing caught fire.
I know.
Crying and all.
I know.
I thought they were all like, I watched it, and at the start I was going like, fuck, they must have been on it for like weeks and weeks or something. It was
Yeah.
like fucking 2 days. Or something.
Yeah.
I
and
thought it
2
was
days
gonna
of free
be-
drink. Like,
Yes, I thought it was going to be everyone getting sick and
Yeah.
it being really like sort of dangerous, but they were just like, we were so inconvenienced.
yeah. And even when they come off and everyone's like, yeah, you made it. And I'm like, there's bound to be somebody who's gone, by the way, you're not getting in my fucking car, then smelly feet. Because you've been walking about in shake water for the last 3 days.
Taxi man, I'm not picking you up.
Yeah. And I'll say this, it's rare that I say this, but the only person on that entire boat that made sense was the English girl. The rest of them, even the crew.
Oh, the
were-
one in charge of
Yeah,
the
who was like, it
entertainment.
wasn't my idea to give the drink out. I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
we shouldn't. The Russian lady terrified me.
Oh yeah, the one who's
She's
like,
"There's
we all
lot-
have
there-
sex.
There's a lot of sex on ship. I had sex with engineer man. He'll leave in the middle of night. I know something is wrong. But you can't deal with a bit of shit and shower. Back in Soviet Russia, we had shit and toothbrush. She scared the fuck out of me.
Well, on that note, we'll leave it there, Mickey. Thank you so
Thanks for having me. Sorry for all the bad words.
No, that's fine. Go and see Mickey on tour, and this will
And bring
probably be out.
antibiotics in case something flares up.
Yeah, go with tissues and things for me. I don't know. Something's going to go wrong. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Pub.
Pub.
Pub.